them, and was once as plentiful as the growing grass, was also no more. At one time, the Blackfoot had engaged in mass buffalo hunts, a type of spiritual communion between the people and the bounty of the Great Spirit. The shaman had employed these sacred stones, the iniskims, small buffalo-shaped rocks that had the power to attract, to call the massive bison herds. The Blackfoot hunters would hide, emerging suddenly from behind the rocks and brush, shouting and waving robes or colorful blankets, which panicked the animals into a thundering herd that would rush down the funnel line and over the cliff or bluff. The Indians would line the kill area, the foot of the cliff or the bluff, and quickly dispatch the stunned and injured animals, those buffalo that had not died in the fall. The women would then skin and butcher the slaughtered bison and make use of virtually everything that the sacred animal had to offer. Now, the killing site was known as the piskun, a phrase which basically translates to deep blood kettle. The Blackfoot had a remarkable ability to coordinate their efforts as small scattered bands were brought together to form much larger cooperative hunting groups. Most would know where and when the mass buffalo hunt was about to take place, a knowledge that was gained via the use of a medicine wheel. Now, what is a medicine wheel? Well, the medicine wheel was formed by, piles of rock laid out on the ground in a pattern of concentric circles or ovals that was intersected by spokes that radiated out from the center of the medicine wheel. The wheels were mostly located at high points, sacred sites that provided expansive views. The spokes pointed out to major landmarks and towards other medicine wheels. The medicine wheels were, in fact, a type of connection, a connection to the natural and the supernatural world, a way for the Blackfoot to be connected to the land and to one another, and a way to familiarize themselves with the land given to them by the Great Spirit. Generation by generation, the Blackfoot peoples, learned the shape of their world and constructed a mental picture of it. Were also a type of calendar, the relation of the spokes to the position of the sun and the stars. For the medicine wheels were silent, timeless, and sacred pathfinders, in a way, sacred maps to both the earthly world and the celestial one. At the medicine wheel, the use of the sacred weed, tobacco, often took place. The smoking, snuffing, and eating of tobacco was part of ritual and ceremony. Rituals and ceremonies surrounding war, the hunt, peace, puberty, and, of course, death. The sacred weed was also burned as an incense, a type of sacrificial offering. And tobacco was also sprinkled in leaf form or even buried with the dead. Smoke was considered to be the breath of the Great Spirit. Smoking was a type of holy ritual. The smoke took the prayers up to the ones above. The Blackfoot have a sacred story about the origin of tobacco, a sacred story called the sacred weed. All right, let's get into the story. There was once 4 brothers, all spiritual men, who had been given power, great power by the Great Spirit. One day, in a vision quest, the oldest of the 4 brothers heard a voice. The voice says to him, "Out there is a sacred weed. Pick it and burn it." The man looked around, saw the strange weed, and put it in the fire. As it burned, it gave off a pleasing aroma. Then the second brother had a dream in which a voice said to him, "Take this herb and chop it fine. Then put it in a hide bag." The man did as he was told. The dry herb in his hide bag was wonderfully fragrant. The third brother also had a vision in which he saw an old man hollowing out a bone and putting some of the strange weed into it. A voice said to him, "Make 4 pipes like this one." And the third brother carved 4 pipes out of an animal's leg bone. Then the youngest of the 4 brothers also had a vision. In this vision, a voice told him, "You 4 men light up your pipes and smoke. Inhale the smoke, then exhale it. Let the smoke ascend to the clouds in the sky." The voice in this vision also taught him songs and prayers that went along with the smoking of the pipe. So, the medicine men, all born from the same mother, smoked together. This was the first time that men ever smoked, and they prayed and sang together as they did so. The brothers who called the sacred weed Nawakosis, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Nawakosis, were meant to teach its use to all the people. But the Nawakosis made them powerful. The Nawakosis made them wise and clear-minded. And the 4 brothers did not want to share it with other people. So they planted the sacred weed in a secret place that only they knew. They guarded the prayers and songs and rituals that went along with smoking. They also formed a tobacco society, a society that included only the 4 of them. So there was anger, there was war, there was impiety, and there was a restlessness of the spirit. The sacred weed, Nawakosis, was meant to calm anger. It was meant to make men worship, to create peace among people, and to ease the mind. But without the sacred herb, unity and peace for all humanity was lacking. A young man who called himself Bull by himself, that was his name, said to his young wife, "The 4 powerful ones have been given smoking, good to share with the people. They were given by the Great Spirit, but they are keeping it only for themselves. So things are bad, very bad indeed. I must find a way to plant and reap the sacred weed and share it with other people." So Bull by himself and his wife went together to a sacred lake and set up their teepee close by its shore. The man left every day to hunt and look for the sacred weed, while the woman stayed in the lodge. She stayed in the lodge to quill, to tan hides, and prepare food. One day, while she was alone, the woman heard somebody singing a beautiful song. She searches everywhere to find the source of the music, and discovers that it was coming from a beaver house that was close by the shore of the sacred lake. It must be the beavers singing, she thought. Their songs are lovely. I hope they don't ever stop singing. Though her husband came home every evening with plenty of meat, he had not found the sacred weed, Nawakosis. The woman called his attention to the beautiful music, but he surprised her by saying, "I hear no music. I hear nothing. It must be your imagination." "No," she said, "I can hear it clearly. Put your ear to the beaver house." The man did as his wife suggested, but still he heard nothing. Then the wife took her knife and made a hole in the beaver lodge. Through this hole they could not only hear the beaver's song, but they could also watch the beavers performing a strange and beautiful dance. The wife then called out to the beavers, saying, "My young brothers, please be of a sharing spirit with us. Teach us your wonderful, beautiful song and your powerful medicine." Well, the beavers answered, "Close up the hole you have made, for it lets in the cold. Then we will come outside and visit you." So she sealed up their wall, and that night the 4 beavers came to Bull by himself's lodge. As soon as they were inside the teepee, The 4 beavers turned themselves into human beings, 4 nice-looking young men. One of the young men then asked, "What have you come here for?" "I have come," said Bull by himself, "to find the sacred weed called Nawakkosis." "Then this is the right place," said the man-beavers. We are water people, and the sacred weed, Nawakkosis, is water, medicine. We will give you this sacred weed. But first, you must learn the songs. You must learn the prayers, the dances, and the rituals that go along with it. There are 4 powerful men in our tribe," said Bull by himself, "who have the medicine and the knowledge, but they keep it only for themselves." "Ah," said the man-beavers, "that is wrong. The sacred weed is meant to be shared by all people. Here is what you must do. By day, go out and get the skin of every 4-legged and 2-legged creature